Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lukhaup, and today in this episode I would like to talk about what happens if you mix all these beautiful Neocaridina shrimp colors in one tank. As far as I remember, it was 2014 or 13, I don't remember so well, when I have been on a fair, on a big fair in the US. It was a pet fair, and because I had just one tank, I could not place the colors of these shrimp in different tanks, so I put them all in one tank together, and the people that walked by, they referred, when they saw them, they referred to them as Skittles. They look like Skittles. I also called them rainbow. It was a rainbow tank, rainbow shrimp, but first of all, they also did not know that there are so many different color variations of Neocaridina davidi. So this is how it happened. And if you look at in the internet, on YouTube for example, the people refer to it as Skittles tanks now, or a rainbow mix tank. There have been some people, and especially some breeders, that have been astonished that I do that. But I'm an artist, and for me it was important that I have a very colorful shrimp tank. And even if it was just for a certain amount of time, and if we see how long the dwarf shrimps live, in average about 1.5 to 2 years, I could have a beautiful tank for that amount of time. And especially if you have some nanofish in this aquarium together with the shrimp, they will probably eat a big part of the juvenile shrimp, and then the aquarium with these shrimp will not be transparent or brown so quick. So you will have for 2 years a beautiful colorful shrimp tank. And also what I have seen the videos of other creators here on YouTube is that they usually start with not such a good quality of shrimp, and I think that matters as well. The second effect, of course, is that with this mix we create some new color forms and new patterns, but this is something that don't happen so often. It was the end of the 90s where the first red shrimp came over from Taiwan as red fire shrimp, just Neocaridina, the genus name, no species name. And later in Germany we found out, or we thought, that they are Neocaridina heteropoda. And after the red ones came the yellow ones. Some had a back stripe, others no. They were mixed by that times, and while the red one was improving, the yellow ones got also more stable, and from the yellow ones, the breeders in Taiwan, they selected out orange ones. Then after a while, it took a while, came the blue ones, but they have been much smaller, different body, so we have not been sure if it's the same species. And then came the Bloody Mary shrimp. They have been very intense from the beginning, but also here we had doubts about species. And then the black ones, and meanwhile we have like 25 different types or patterns. The sapphire and the green really are the last ones that came to the trade. Some people ask me if that is a crossbreeding, if we put all these color forms together, but in fact not. A crossbreeding is between two species, but this is just one species. This is what we know at the moment, so it's not a crossbreeding, it's just a reproduction. But to be sure, we have to look at the genetics of all these color forms to be sure that this is just one species. So now the simple question is, what if we want to have a colorful shrimp tank and we would not like to have all these transparent or brown babies? Well, one thing is that you can do is to have just females in the tank. Some of the shops, they ship you just females, but it's difficult because most of the shop, they even don't know what is a male and a female, but some shops do. So maybe if you want to ask them to ship you just females, then you can have a tank that looks great for 2 years and you will not have any transparent or brown babies. But if you decide that you want to have a Skittle tank with female and male together, then you have to be aware that after a while, this depends on the quality and the reproduction rate, you will have a lot of transparent or brown shrimp in your tank. And the way how this happens, then we have to take a closer look at genetics. The reason why this is so is because the brown or transparent gray gene is dominant. If you have red and you breed a red female with a red male, that's no problem. You will have all the juveniles will be red. But if you have a red one with a recessive gene and a yellow one with a recessive gene, the brown dominant gene will expose itself, and that's why over time you will have more and more brown or gray shrimp. And let's say your whole group now after a couple of years is wild type, grayish brown, and suddenly some red ones appear again. Why is that so? It's because the red gene is recessive and some of these shrimp still carry it. If you have a male, for example, that is wild type, it carries the red recessive gene, but it shows the dominant wild type gene, and you have a female with the same, and let's say they have 100 babies. Then 25% of these babies will be without the recessive red gene, just wild type. Another 50 of them, 50%, will carry this recessive gene, but they will expose the wild type, they will look wild type. And another 25 will be red because they have both the recessive gene from the female and the male, and that's why they show red. So in my view, it's really interesting to have all the color mixed. I love it. But if you decide that you don't want to have brown babies, you also can decide for go just with 1 or 2 color forms, depending how many aquariums you have. And I think that also selective breeding is fun. So there's 2 possibilities here to go. I wish you fun with your shrimp. Keep on shrimping and see you next time. And one more thing, did you ever try the shrimp sticks from Natureholic? Those are a lot of fun. That's shrimp food on a stick and the shrimp just love it.